had that baby. It's all good. So what are we doing tonight?
Oh, well, I figured we'd catch up since it's now season 2 of Near Mint Condition. What have y'all been up to?
Hi, Tina. Ladies first.
Oh,
what have you
ladies
been up to?
first?
Yes.
Let's see. Work, some more work. We let a girl go at work, so stress work.
Work.
Okay, so that was boring. Not what I was expecting. Rob, well, you got some good news, right?
Let's see. Yeah, I have a job in the gaming industry, so I can actually wear this stuff with like a little bit more authority.
You could wear that and work at like Toys R Us, and still have that.
You mean I could work at
authority?
I could work at Babbage's.
Nothing but bad bitches in here tonight. Bad bitches only.
America's Computer Software Quarters.
You just want that song to play. That's the only reason you say it.
I'm going to say it as much as I can. I think that's about it.
You had a baby. That was good.
Oh, that's right. I had a new baby.
Oh, your wife did?
More of you?
There can be only 3. This new baby, we've named the baby Dragon Quest IV Fox. Really excited.
And Dan, you also have a new job.
I do have a new job.
But not in the video game industry.
Yes, I am now back in private practice.
Is that a TV show? I love
Yes,
that show.
yes, that's a TV show. And I drive a lot now. So
Lots of time to listen to podcasts.
that's true.
What podcasts are you listening to?
About
Really?
heroes.
We're going to go there?
We're not.
There's some really great podcasts out there.
So yes, it's Thanksgiving. Thank you for
what
joining.
About
What
you?
the fuck?
What are you doing? What's
That
new
was
in your
it.
life?
What's new with me?
You have a new job in the industry?
No, I don't. I am still playing Final Fantasy 12, which I was like.
Oh my gosh!
Your girls
I have
having babies?
kids. I have kids.
You had your girls playing.
Oh yeah, my girls now do the grinding for me though. Like they kill the enemies, so I don't
Yeah,
have
I
to gain
came over
levels.
one day and he was like, "Beat that monster for Poppy," and I was like, "You're like gold farming out your girls."
Folks, you are doing what the Koreans are doing, except you're using your own children. That's fantastic.
Exactly.
So yeah, welcome back. This is our season 2. I guess you know us by now, so we don't really have to introduce ourselves.
You should introduce yourself.
No. Okay. So the thing I wanted to talk about this time, being that it's Thanksgiving and things you're supposed to be grateful for, I was curious as to what you guys, like, what your 3 biggest geek possessions are. Your house is burning, your family...
My family!
Well, hold on, let me finish. Your family, your wife, kids, your wife, cats, are all out of the house.
Okay.
And you have a chance to go in and get 3 items. Just 3. Don't know why I held up 6, because I'm an idiot. 3 items.
I agree.
What would they be?
So you're saying the difference between, like, let's say if my geek possession was Super Mario Bros. 1, that wouldn't count because I can go to the store and buy another Super Mario
Right,
Bros. 1.
unless it had some kind of, like,
Sentimental
value to you, right?
Okay.
I'll start. So this is my Galvatron from
Sweet.
1986.
Did your parents like take that and try to crash it against the wall?
No, remarkably not. In fact, this was one that my parents didn't buy us a lot of toys outside of Christmas and birthdays, but this was one of the kind of rare, spontaneous, like, we're at Toys R Us, or I guess Children's Palace.
Children's Palace, baby.
Come to Children's Palace and discover how much less toys can cost.
And I asked for a toy, and they said yes. So either
That happened to me in Peru. Like, we were in the open market, and my mom was
have
buying
this
a
rice
bag
bowl?
of rice, and I was like, "Mom, can I have a toy?" And instead,
like,
she bought me like
corn
a little corn. Yeah, I guess y'all knew where that story was from. Continue.
So I chose this as more of a representative sample of just the toys that I still have that I value from my childhood. The stuff has stuck with me for a number of years now.
You can never let it go.
Well,
This one in particular, though, because you remember the moment where you were when you got this?
Yeah, more so than most. And I've like since like put new stickers on it and everything, and obviously
you refurbished
electronics still work. So
Awesome. That's all I have
Tina, why don't you go next?
Okay, I'm gonna
Since
do.
you have this creature here.
Bonton. Creature. This is Bonton. This is Mr.
I know who he
T.
is, but if nobody watches anime, they're
Right,
wondering
right.
what that
And
is.
this is a special limited edition dome tour, so he's nice and shiny.
Yeah, mine's
Please don't do
different.
that.
Mine is
Don't
not
do that
shiny.
again.
He's gay. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin Spacey.
You're fired.
No, I got this in Japan, and it's the most expensive figure I own. I paid roughly the equivalent of $280, USD for this guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Wow.
I know, which isn't a lot for you, Omar.
Well, it's no. It's just mine was only 58, but he's not shiny. Yours
yeah,
is the.
no, this is the dome. He was.
What makes him so special? Did it only come from one store, or?
Yeah, I think it only came. It's Dome Tour edition, and I'm not sure which particular store it came from, but it was one of those things where they had it for a very, very limited time at one particular place. So yeah. It's my Bonchan.
And where is he from? What?
One Piece?
Okay.
Do you have to ask? I'm sorry, viewers.
Yeah,
you
they may be wondering what the hell this
sorry.
dude's wearing. Yeah, he's from Swan Princess 4.
I assume in this imaginary scenario where,
Not gonna happen. Your house is not gonna burn down.
but I have super strength.
Little did Omar know.
Let's see if this motherfucker's serious.
Stop. So in this scenario where I have super strength, I'm going to say I have a Miss Pac-Man cocktail. Now I did not bring that with me today because it's a little big to put in the automobile. But
I'm sorry. I just never mind.
Yeah.
You think Miss
I know what
Pac-Man
you
cock?
I was thinking butt plugs, but that's okay.
That's not where
That's not where I was going.
I've
What?
missed you. I've missed you.
What did you hear?
Don't even ask.
All right, Miss Pac-Man
Cocktail
cocktail.
arcade unit, Tina.
It's the ones where you sit down instead of stand up.
Yes, arcade unit.
They're under his bed.
They also have butt plugs.
This is one of those things. I've wanted an arcade unit, specifically Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man was one of my favorite games. In fact, Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man were the first arcade games I played as when I was 6 or whatever, and I made little cutouts of those things. So Miss
You didn't
Pac-Man.
realize it was just the same game?
Oh, I did. I was pretty astute 6-year-old. But and even from little kids in college at Kentucky Arcade, which was the best arcade on the planet, right? They had a Miss Pac-Man there too, and in between classes, I put so much money into Miss Pac-Man. I was like, one day when I have a job and money, I'm gonna buy a Miss Pac-Man arcade unit. And it took a long time and a lot of points from Chase from buying using their credit card, but turned all those points and found a guy who restores arcade units, and he was like, and it took a while to find a person. I searched for at least a solid year, but found this guy, he restored it, and it's in wonderful, fantastic condition. It's a little expensive, but technically it's free because it again Chase points, and I still play it all the time. Anytime anyone comes over, I was like, hey, let's play Miss Pac-Man. It's awesome.
I'm gonna kick it off with something that I have. I think I told this story when I got drunk with these guys at one of the conventions. Mm-hmm. But now this means a lot more to me because so this is Origin number 2, and everybody's like, "Why didn't you get Origin number 1 signed?" I did, and I gave it away as one of our prizes. But now I always like this cover more because it's the iconic Wolverine hand with the claws. But now this means a lot more to me now because it's Lane Wayne signed it, and he just passed away this year, and he's the creator of Wolverine. Didn't get a dime for creating him, by the way. All those Wolverine movies and X-Men movies, didn't get a single dime from Marvel, which sucks. So it's signed by Joe Quesada, Andy Kubert, the guy that drew it, Paul Jenkins, the guy that wrote it, Richard Eisenoff, the guy that did the art, and Herb Trimp, the guy that wrote him in Incredible Hulk number 181, which is his first appearance.
Berserker Barrage!
So all that's really missing from this one is Stan
Brian
Lee.
Michael Bendis.
Oh, break this fucking thing over your head. Stan Lee's signature. But yeah, this is definitely one that I would take out because it symbolizes everything that I'm into. I'm comic books. That's my background. So
That's a cool story.
Yeah.
damn.
All right. So my next,
middle.
I guess
my
that
next
thing is
one,
fireproof in this scenario, right?
yeah, coming after Omar's, which is a one of a kind thing that he can't replace. I just don't have a lot of stuff like that. That's not anything I've ever focused on collecting. I don't get things signed. I just buy what I like.
Yeah, that's
and,
something wrong with
and
that.
we've already talked about how my collection's always kind of, flowing,
Evolving,
and I sell
yeah.
off the things that I don't like. So my next two things are more symbolic than anything else.
No, that's okay.
So I collect pins. And we did that Disney World episode where I brought in the all the Disney pins. Mm-hmm. So this is the pin that I got when we did the marathon at Disney World in 2013, which was the 20th anniversary marathon. You could only get this if you did the race or went to the outlet mall a few months later. But it was a limited edition thing, and it's commemorative of a thing I was very proud of doing and had a good time doing and spent a long time getting ready for. So that's my second choice.
That's cool.
It's all symbolic value.
Well, here's
I don't actually much care for this pin itself. It's what
But it's
what's
what it
been
represents.
I'm gonna go with my collector's edition of Undertale. So I really, really love indie games, and this is actually, I think, the second collector's edition of a game I've ever owned.
How?
Undertale was a game that was never released physical.
Never
right.
released physically.
Right.
This was the first, I guess, run of physical release. And if you got the collector's edition, it comes with a little music box. It's a little locket. Comes with a game, and actually a pretty sweet soundtrack too.
Oh, and a Blu-ray box. Look at
Yeah,
that.
I know it's.
Is that the art of Undertale as well?
I think the art book is in the game box.
The friendly RPG where nobody has to die.
They don't have to die.
It's
Talk to them.
well, no, you can do a genocide run if you're really evil and mean. Yeah, so it's got the little opening to Undertale, and it's actually pretty nice.
This takes us back to episode 1 where I thought she was dressed up as Undertale.
The goat
The
mom.
goat mom creature thing from Undertale.
Not again. I've told this story many, many times, and probably the most valuable thing in my house is something that I cannot replace. Would be...
Dildos are replaceable.
Not when they're golden laced.
They're signed by Shigeru Miyamoto. This is my gold copy of The Legend of Zelda, the original OG Zelda for the NES. The short version of this story is a person helped me find Miyamoto at E3 at the 25th year of Legend of Zelda, and the very last day of E3, and got up early and talked to people and found him, and he signed it, and it was the coolest thing ever. So there's pictures of me going, this other than that time that I got married.
That's your second thing, like not even the birth of your children.
And the babies are way up there too, but this is very, very sentimental, because not just him signing the game, the creator, they say you shouldn't meet your heroes or whatever, but The Legend of Zelda has been one of those games that has really affected my love of the industry. One of the reasons that I love video games.
This is my story of Hikaru from Magic Knight Earth. This is a figure that Sega released back in 1996, 1997. So back in 97, I went to a convention and I bought Fu and Umi, the two other characters from Magic Knight Earth, the anime. This is before it became a video game. And I was like, okay, cool. I got two of them and they were fairly cheap. And I'm like, I'll just find Hikaru. It took me 10 years. That was 97. I joined eBay so it took me longer than that. I joined eBay in 1998 with the pure intent of finding this figure. Every week since 1998 until 2008, I checked eBay to see if she was there. And she was never there. And then March of 2008, keep in mind my wife and I are traveling to Japan in June of 2008. March in 2008, I find a listing for her, and it's a buy it now, and it's only $120, right? I only paid $20 for the other two, and I'm like, man, if I do, and part of me is like, I'm going to Japan. I'm going to Japan. I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna find this, and then the other part of me is like, fuck it, do it, man, do it, because if you don't do it now, man, you're not gonna find it. So I bought it, obviously, and I went to Japan, and I never saw her. So for 10 years, I'm very persistent when it comes to finding things. I looked for her and I never saw a single listing. I think I saw another listing after we came back from Japan for a lot more. But yeah, she has her box and everything. But yeah, this is definitely one that I would have to take out because it cannot be replaced.
You know, I went from a very specific single item to this is basically just representative in general.
Yeah.
Of this is more of things I'm most thankful for. This is MP10, but the reason I grabbed this one as opposed to another one is this is when Takara really said, you know what, we've done a bunch of these one-off masterpiece figures, because that first Optimus Prime came out in 2000. It was like kind of the culmination of everything that they had done with Transformers tech to make a giant Optimus Prime.
That's the one that I have. Yeah.
This is when they said, we are going to do this line forever. And they went back and redid Optimus, and they later redid Megatron, all in the same scale with the cars and the jets and everything, so that you have a single unified line as opposed to a bunch of one-offs. And so that's why I grabbed this, just because this is my favorite Transformers line ever, even though they're super expensive. I buy each one of these as it comes out, and I'm just really thankful for this line because it's, so much more than anything else. This line is what has kept me buying Transformers over the years, especially during the movie years when...
Also rough years.
Yeah. So I'm just thankful for this keeping my hobby alive.
My final one is actually a subscription that I do. So I love Pusheen so much. Like, if I had to be obsessed with something...
Pusheen.
Pushing what now?
Okay, I know where your minds are going. My house is filled with pussy, but this is a different type. This is Pusheen.
Oh, we're not going to cut that.
We gotta cut that.
I'm not cutting it. Go ahead. This is Thanksgiving.
So...
I'm also grateful for that.
And my cat's chewed on this box. But it's a quarterly box, so it comes 4 times a year. And I just packed
Just
this...
like Rob. Alright,
I hate you.
So, basically, it's just
A
crammed
bunch of
with
Pusheen
stuff.
crap.
Right, it's Pusheen. And we finally got a plushie.
Are those Christmas lights?
Look, he's holding
These
the nuts.
are, yes.
To go with the
little
Pusheen.
lights. So it comes filled, and I just took a bunch of stuff from different Pusheen boxes.
Okay.
And put it in here.
Okay, I was
'Cause
like,
it's
that's
not-
a huge box.
Well, I mean, it does come with some really
Phrasing.
great stuff. Like, it even came with a bento box one time.
Really? Do you use these things? I know you've given my
yeah.
daughter some of these
Yeah,
thing.
so
Because I'm sure
I used
it's...
to get 2
Yeah, oh, yeah.
boxes. Heather accidentally signed up for 2. And so I was like, I'll keep some things, and then I'll give stuff to Omar's girls, because they really like Pusheen. But yeah, I typically do use some of this stuff. I haven't used the straws yet.
Oh, silly straws.
Yeah, I know,
Everybody
I mean-
loves those.
I mean, you have, better stuff in some of them than others. They do have clothes, and it's relatively
So the clothes that
cheap.
they give you, I guess, like, I don't know anything about loot crate boxes, but do you put your size in ahead of time?
You do.
And they
So, like-
they send you an extra small shirt?
Right. So they come in like medium, small, and they'll ask you when you sign up what is your size.
For my final item, I want to be like Dan with this. I don't really have very many things signed, and like I'm a collector, but like signatures or whatever is not my thing. But I do like cool, antique, classic video game things. This Nintendo has been modded, so it plays on my modern TVs. I'm really, really thankful for the Super Famicom with its Satellaview add-on, and the Nintendo 64 with the 64DD add-on. Like classic systems and things like that are what I'm thankful for. So I'm going to epitomize this with one of my favorite, if not my favorite, classic game.
Wise.
Eyes?
I hate you so much.
And his dick just went
it's the
limp.
timing that really makes a good joke.
This game is called East, as in West, East, East. Ease of use. East Book 1 and 2. This game was one of the first games I got for the TurboGrafx CD system. This TurboGrafx CD is one of the first console systems that had a CD-ROM. What's significant about this game in itself, it's about your adventure hero that goes in and saves the day, blah, blah, blah. This is the time period that I had this game was like, I was in high school, and this is my first like little CD player, so sometimes I would take it to school and just listen to the music. The music in this game is some of the best music ever, full stop. The gameplay itself is pretty good. You run into monsters and stuff, and the story is really cool. And it was the first games that had like cinematics and like voice acting. And when I was a kid, so 16, 17, whatever, however old I was when this game came out, I was completely blown away by the fact that my video games could talk to me. I could hear real music.
I am Lilia from Rance Village. I felt a cold shiver down my spine, and I felt compelled to come in this direction.
The bad dudes were taunting me in these crazy, cryptic voices. Like, oh my god, this is amazing. And it just really stuck with me. I listened to this thing like every day. And to this day, my children are like, hey daddy, let's listen to the soundtrack to East. Or can you play East and show us the game? And I'm like, yes children, by all means. So they love the music, they know all the characters, they know everything about the game. Going back to the retro angle, this is why I'm thankful for these things. Like, I went to fire up my Turbo CD not that long ago to actually show them the game. So I keep these things around so I can show them the real hardware. Like, actually do the Nintendo blowjob. And, like, that's part of the experience. I broke it!
Really just broke your teeth.
No, it's been broken. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. The Turbo CD system it didn't spin up. I hit start and just went, and I was absolutely devastated. Like, oh my god, what am I going to do? And then 10 minutes later, I guess the capacitor was heated up and it started spinning up. And then the game was playing. Like, but I was like getting on eBay trying to find these things. Because, again, you can buy this stuff again. But, again, this game just epitomizes, like, how video games really came to grab me emotionally. And I still am into things like this to this day. And I really am thankful for the fact that I have these classic systems that still work after all this time, and I could show them to the generations.
So, going back to my roots, Uncanny X-Men, my favorite comic books growing up as a kid. And this is in particular my first omnibus I ever bought. And an omnibus, of course, like I mentioned before. It's a collection of like 30 to 40 comic books, all into a hardcover with a dust jacket. This is back when Marvel was doing their leather-bound stuff. But this one is special because it's X-Men, and this is also the story I told about having signatures on it. So this is Bob McLeod, who drew and inked some of the stuff. Lane Wayne, creator of Wolverine, and also wrote some of the stories in here. And of course, Chris Claremont's signature, who I will never let go of his hand. That's the story I told about shaking his hand. So yeah, this takes me back to my childhood. These are probably the beginning of the best X-Men stories. There are other 2 volumes before this one, but this is the start of the new X-Men in 1975 with Giant Size X-Men 1, which is this cover right here. And this began everything in my love interest for X-Men. So I'm very grateful for X-Men. And that's it. That's what we're grateful for.
Well, folks, so we're back. Season 2.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We would love to know what you would like us to cover in the episodes to come. If you have an idea for an episode, you'd like to get our take on things, let us know in the comments. We'd appreciate it. Also, make sure to read the notes, because we put notes in every episode of
so you can
the
get
stuff
smarter.
we talk about. If you heard us say something and you're like, what the hell was that? It's probably in the notes. So, look at those.
We have a Facebook page.
We do. We have a
And
Facebook
a Twitter.
page. We have an Instagram.
Yep.
These
All of that also in the notes. Guess who writes out the notes each week?
We're
guy.
thankful for you, Dan, for writing
We're
out the
very
notes.
thankful.
Well, I am thankful for all of you for doing this.
I'm thankful for you guys for putting up with us for over a year now. And
Hope to see you come back for more for Season 2. Appreciate every single like and subscribe and watch and view.
These $6.
plus shipping? Or is that free
I
shipping?
don't know.
Well, if your house ever burns down, I got you. I got you.
Just on
buddy.
the brain.
Thought you were gonna kiss me. Awkward. All right.
That's the Christmas episode.